And so let's probably just go like how you guys have been doing it for the past, 24, 48 hours?
Yeah.
I'm pretty overwhelmed with phone calls and
Yeah, hopefully these phone calls and your text messages or emails or Facebook and...
I want to try those, I guess, I didn't expect for everything to happen this way.
No.
At all. But I'm just grateful it ended up the way it did. And
thank God no one died.
Yeah, 100%. Just real tired. Like, still feel like the tension in my body, like being, like everything's tight right now, still on an edge. And just been hard to sleep, but I'll get through it.
Yeah.
You've probably been sleeping like a rock.
No.
No?
No.
You said you were.
First night I basically...
You said you were going to sleep like a rock. I was like, I don't think so.
No, the first night I didn't sleep at all. And, I tossed and turned. Every night I've been tossing and turning.
Yeah.
Too much going through my head.
Yeah, definitely the first night was the worst night.
It was just like after my accident. That's all I could think about. I could visualize it. And now I'm visualizing a guy stabbing people.
Yeah.
Thinking that, I overthink things. I think, man, we could have been 20 seconds ahead and who knows, we would have got shanked.
Yep.
So.
Still just been home, helping, checking on my daughter. She's only 13. She hasn't said too much lately, and her friend Malaya, they were there. And I keep thinking actually about all the people that were in the store and all the kids that were in the store.
Yeah.
And that bothers me with the trauma that they all get.
Yeah.
And,
especially the mother I seen with her 2 children, and they were crying. That was a tough one.
Yeah, it was bad. That was a lot of blood.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were up in Traverse City on vacation. You just talked about the folks that were in the store having to go through that trauma.
Mm-hmm.
For the community up there that kind of relies on a lot of like summer tourism, people coming up. How do you hope they kind of stay together and kind of overcome what that community is going through right now?
I just hope that they've seen a good example of what we should be doing as a community to help each other.
Yes.
And not let this type of violence affect us.
But it changes everyone's lives at the same time.
But don't be afraid to help control the situation if you really love your community. I mean, I know you got family and stuff, but just be aware of your surroundings for sure. I hope and pray that this is a learning lesson for everybody, that your head should be on a swivel no matter where you're at. Nobody thinks this is going to have a beautiful city like Traverse City. That's, vacation spot.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that guy lived up there for a while, but they were looking for him, and it's just we need more awareness of where we're at.
Yes.
Can you just tell the story on what happened?
Yeah, so we just arrived Saturday morning, maybe before noon, I think. Or just
Yeah, we went to that restaurant right around noon.
Yep.
Or 11, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then we got to our Travel Lodge hotel. We got our rooms.
Just before 3.
Yep, and then we were like, okay, well, we need supplies because we were renting a pontoon out there, or turned to be a tri-toon, which is nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful tri-toon. And we went to what we were, if we were going to Myers or Walmart or what. When he looked it up, at Walmart's right on the corner, so let's hit up Walmart, for fishing poles, pop, beverages, food, snacks for the kids. And we did our shop and had a good time. And I actually felt like we were in there a little too long.
Yeah.
Looking through my wife's list of things that she wanted, random things like a rope and some blow-up tubes and pop. And so my daughter, she wanted like a bikini bottom. So I just sent my daughter and her friend to the women's section. And they were probably away for like 15, 20 minutes in there walking
Maybe
around
even
by
longer,
themselves.
because you were talking to the elder vet too.
Yep, and then so we were just wandering. We weren't rushing it, and we were expecting, maybe after Walmart we'll go down and do mini golf or something, or go eat again. And we check out, and we ended up talking to a wonderful cashier who ended up being from Florida, because we want to move to Florida eventually.
Yeah.
And so we said our goodbyes to her. Thank you very much. And as we were just leaving the aisle and turning down the exit way towards the door, we seen the Walmart employee running up the center aisle in the back behind the checkouts, and he's got a knife. And as he turned around, he was like, get out of there. And there was like a mass wave of just blood-curdling screams from the back of the store that was rushing forward. Like somebody had it was like a wave of screams.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see through the displays that you had those gaps, and you could kind of see through them. I seen like a lot of motion every which way, but I seen one thing that just kept coming through. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this. And I seen him right when he got in front of me. And he locked eyes on us, literally like looked left, had the knife out, and it was just like a movie, a cartoon, everything just slowed down.
Yeah, it looked like he was running
Weirdly,
awkwardly too.
And so I yelled, my daughter, I don't know if I was pushing the cart or you were pushing the cart or,
For some reason, I think I was.
all right, either way. I yelled at my daughters and I said, my daughter and her friend, I said, stay here. And I just took off running after him. And as I came around the corner, I can remember his like trying to slash somebody or he got him in the shoulder. So I'm like, I don't have a weapon. I'm just going to grab an empty grocery cart. So I grabbed the empty grocery cart and I took off running. And right when I came to the exit of going outside, I just noticed him stab a woman in the, took his left hand and he just ran by her, elderly lady, and stabbed her right in the back, like lower side of the ribs here on the right side. And then all of a sudden just, she went down and there was blood pouring out of her. And I couldn't have him, he kept trying to go straight, but he had taken his knife from his left hand and shuffled it back to his right hand and turned around like he was going to get her again. And he had locked eyes with me at that time, and he saw me with the cart and he tried to turn back around, and that's why I rammed him. I think he fell down and he tried to get up and come at me, and then another guy with the cart hit him from the left side, and I tried hitting him, and then we just kept pushing him back towards like the little cement area where the light pole's at. And I just said, I'm just going to try to smash him with the cart. So I tried to pick the cart up as high as I could and just smash it on top of him. But unfortunately, he got behind the light pole and then scrambled between two cars that were nose to nose.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point in time, I look over left and I seen Derek in his white shirt and a pistol, and he's coming right at him, and he's commanding him to just stop, drop the knife, drop the knife, drop the knife. And that's when you see me in the video come around the back of the car and back him up. At that point in time, I had no idea who Derek was. I just knew that he was a man that was coming in with a pistol to control this situation, and he did a hell of a job. I commend him on so much for being the one to be able to pull that gun out at that time and, do what he had to do at the same time. That's when I came up next to him and I started yelling commands to drop the knife, drop the knife, drop the knife. And he didn't want to drop the knife. You could see he didn't want to. He was hesitating to do it, and he kept having it up, and then he kind of wanted to put it on top of the car, and then he just drew it back, and then thought about it some more, and then slowly folded it. And when he set it down on the ground in front of him, I grabbed it, and that's when everybody thinks I had a cigarette in my hand or something. But no, it was the knife in my left hand. I was holding it like this, trying to keep it away. And I circled around the outside of him. I don't remember how he got put to the ground 100%, but I remember being on top of him afterwards and holding him there and yelling at him, don't you ever move. And he kept yelling at me, I'm a soldier, I'm a soldier. And I said, well, I'm a Marine, loudly yelled it. And he kind of stopped saying what he was saying, and no more than 10 seconds after that, a deputy from up there came in. I heard him just coming in hot with a cruiser, and he just booked it right at us and jumped on him and had the rifle into his face, had both knees on him, and we got him flipped over. He tried to flip back, but then we got back down, and then I held his legs for the deputy, and we detained him, and another deputy came up and grabbed him and brought him to the cruiser, emptied his pockets, and I still had the knife, so I walked the knife over to the cruiser and set it down. And the other deputy that came in hot with the rifle gave me 2 med packs and told me, he said, follow me. And so I followed him to the man that had his shoulder wound. His left shoulder was just sliced wide open. So the officer put a tourniquet on here, and I was handing him the gauze and everything and breaking open the packs. And we tried to help the lady in the wheelchair, but she had plenty of help. But I was right there beside her for a minute. But yeah, after that I just had to talk to the police, and just wild.
Yes.
In a previous interview, I believe you said that, I gotta check my notes here too for it, that in the parking lot you turned into someone that you hadn't been in a long time. I assume referring to your military service.
Yeah.
Who was that person?
So there's a lot of, being a Marine, like there's a lot that goes on. You end up, facing challenges even through, like from boot camp to when you go to Iraq. You face challenges all throughout it, and you have to take them on head on. And so, being as back in the civilian world, you don't expect that. You're not waiting for it. But when it hits you, you just got to kick it on. I guess it's hard to explain what that means for you guys or anybody that was never in the military. But your training kicks in; it'll turn on, but you know, you never want to use it.
Have you ever had to help with an emergency situation like this in civilian life before?
Not a stabbing. Well, one time when I was at Myers out in Spring Lake, there was a man that came in and had a heart attack right in front of us, and I assisted with that and helped. That was in Fruitport out in Muskegon, Myers. And he went down in the doorway, and I remember having to help get the carts away from him and spread them out and, you know, stand by for CPR and stuff. But yeah, that was.
Do you ever think back within the past few days? Have you ever thought back to what if you had gone to Meijer? What if you didn't end up going to that Walmart?
We wouldn't have been there. We actually figured out that everything we needed was right behind us too.
Yeah.
The next
Yeah.
day, because we weren't, you know, we
Not
don't
familiar.
know Traverse City, so the place we were staying at, we could have literally walked behind the building.
Got everything we
Everything was right there that we needed: fishing poles, food, everything.
You're talking a different store?
Yeah,
there
there's
was
just right
there
around
was
the
a
other
strip
corner we
mall
could walk,
behind
yeah.
us.
So we just drove to Walmart thinking that's where we needed to go.
Yeah, we had no idea. So we went to Walmart because it seemed to be about the only place that we could get everything we needed: fishing poles and pop and snacks.
A lot of people online have been calling you guys heroes. Do you think do you consider yourselves to be heroes?
I don't know.
He is. There's no doubt about that. What he did is not many people will ever be able to do. I mean, he took off like it was his job. It was his job to go get it finished, shut it down. I followed him to help. He didn't need my help. So,
But I'm glad you were there.
I know,
I did need your help.
a little bit.
You had mentioned that, I think you said he was a soldier.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you guys have seen anything from, like, yesterday he was arraigned, he requested to not get
Yes,
his plea.
yep.
You know, the judge was cutting him off at certain points, you know, so and his indigent defense lawyer had
Mhm.
also advised him not to speak. But at, you know, one point he said, like, I didn't do what you said I did, or something along those lines. You know, having been so close to him in that moment, did you get I don't know if you got like a read or like if there's anything
First
going
thing
on,
I
you
thought
know?
he was just on when I first exited the building, he actually said like in defense of what he was doing, he said everybody in there is bad and they all need to die, pretty much is what he was saying, getting at. I don't remember exact words, but he said everybody in Walmart are bad, and I was like, okay, and then that ain't gonna help you right now. I just watched you stab innocent people, so you're not, I don't know, you have no defense. And then when he was on the ground, he kept saying he was a soldier, and then I didn't know what he was talking about at that point in time either, until the next day or the third day or second day after, where they found out that he was a reborn again Christian and wrote a book and mentally just not there. I mean, and I'm not saying anything about Christianity, I think he was thinking he was a soldier for whatever he was doing and whoever was telling him to do it.
I've read that he had a pretty terrible past, so not giving it as a pass, but yeah, there's a lot going on in that guy's head, because I even watched the arraignment. That doesn't make any sense, half the stuff he says. He apparently had to save up money for a lawyer. I'm like, how are you going to do that? I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't know him like that at that moment, you know, not a clue. He just appeared in front of us, and I just tried to stop what was going on.
Have you traded phone numbers with Derek?
My wife is in contact with his wife, yes.
Have you spoken to any of the victims, or have the victims'
No.
families reached out to you at all?
I have not, no.
Just kind of going back to what Derek did. I mean, he was also, you guys were a factor in, everybody was a factor in this,
definitely.
right?
It was one group.
Yeah, it was a team.
Even there's a couple other guys in the video you see too that.
Yes.
The one guy that had the grocery cart behind me when I come around the corner, he was the one that helped me get the guy down. You know,
Exactly.
he needs credit too. And that other man that stood there with the blue shirt that wasn't backing down either, that was with me, don't know his name, but he deserves credit too. He was there. He wasn't backing away from anybody. And I think our show of force is what caused him to put that knife down.
Yes, the whole team. I think he finally figured out that they meant business.
He was overwhelmed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were a group of strangers, and you came together, as you said, a team. What is that bond like?
It's great.
knowing nobody to, you know, being a cohesive unit to try and stop whatever is happening.
I think it's a good showing of these people's characters.
Yes.
Not everybody has the same character, but those characters will stand out amongst others when the time is needed. They will come together, and that's just amazing. It's awesome.
Very awesome.
You mentioned that you looked into the attacker's eyes when the attack started. What did you see?
Like I said, it was like slow motion. The moment I seen him break that exit way, because you know if you're leaving, you're checking out, you go right, and you can see the doors on your left, and there was all the displays, and I seen him just pop out, and it was like a cartoon or like a movie. The way he had turned left and looked at me or looked at us and had that knife forward like he was running, but his run was like very leaned forward, like he was trying as hard as he could to get out.
Seemed like it was sloppy.
Yeah, but when I seen his eyes at that point in time, but he looked so out of this world. Like,
Yeah, he didn't look like he was with it.
he didn't know what was going on. He knew what he was doing, or maybe he didn't, but he was like everywhere with what he's doing. But when we were yelling on the parking lot and you could see his eyes, then it looked like his eyes were just bulging out, and he was panicking and didn't know what to do and sweating. And yeah, it didn't look normal. I thought he was on drugs, like for real.
I would have assumed drugs. Bad ones.
Yeah.
If Chris, if you hadn't filmed what you filmed, do you think we would all be here in this room?
I'm guessing
talking
no.
about it?
Guessing no. I took that film because I thought they were going to kill him, and I figured video evidence would have been the smartest thing to have at that moment. I really did. I am not somebody that videotapes this stuff. Whenever I'm live in action of something, I'm usually in it. But I seen at that period of time, I was like, all right, it's under control. If the guy swings at anybody, he's getting shot. So I was like, this video needs to be had. It wasn't for any sort of other reason, not at all. I asked him, I'm like, should I post this? Because everyone's asking questions. I'm like, here you go. So
That's why I think that Bradford guy should be thanking Derek for saving his life and sparing him, because if he would have came at us, I know Derek would have put him down. Derek would have put him down.
To have it then be posted, and to have, I'm sure you've had all the accolades and praise from strangers and maybe people you know too. What is it like to receive that?
Overwhelming.
Mhm.
Very overwhelming. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to take on you're a hero. You just kind of say thanks. It's not something you're used to. That's for sure.
Just to kind of go back to just a few minutes after everything kind of happened, he's in handcuffs now, right? You go back to your family. What are the conversations you guys are having with your families?
we basically talked about it all weekend.
Yeah.
The wives, yes, when we got back there, 4 million questions. We're all talking about it. It was just like, it was surreal.
I want to commend my wife and your wife for taking on the news, the text and everything, because it got so overwhelming for me, and we just passed our phones to our wives and like, you guys talk to them.
If it wasn't for them, you probably wouldn't know anything.
Yeah, we might have just been quiet the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know everyone on Sunday wanted interviews, and we were like, no, we're on the lake.
We were in Traverse City, and they wanted to come up there.
Told them to get a boat and come out here in the middle of the lake.
Yeah.
We'll
See
talk
out
to you
here.
for a little bit.
Stand on the sandbar with us.
Mm-hmm.
But we ended up having a beautiful day.
Oh yeah,
after that.
for the most part, it was beautiful. Other than the phones kept ringing.
But we want to go back up there next month for sure, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
We want to actually spend more time up there this time, maybe bring more family.
Yeah, that was. I've never been there, even though I've been a resident of Michigan my whole life. I've been almost most places in Michigan, just not there. So,
Are you guys from here?
Grand Rapids
Yeah.
area.
How many family members were there at the
store?
with you guys? I mean, it's like a bunch of different
8,
families, or just your two families? Or?
His kids and his wife. And
I had 2 kids, and he had 2 kids, and I had my wife, and he had his wife. So.
And then when when you're back at the store, when your daughter was, you yelled at her to go, but did you feel she was safe at that time? Or?
Yes, we thought she was safe.
When, what were you talking about, when she was going to look for stuff?
Or no, when you know that something's going on and you said,
Stay
here.
Yeah.
Well, I knew Chris was right there too, and I knew my daughter's not dumb.
No.
She's very intelligent. Actually, she's 13 going on 30. But she knew what she was doing. She said she thought about following me, but said, nope, I'm going to go the other door. And she did the right thing. She went the complete opposite direction of where the threat was at her age. And I just feel like she's more visually traumatized by the screams. And
Yes.
I don't think she's seen much of a stabbing and much of the blood, because like I said, there was the 2 doors, and she went from this door all the way to this door and all the way back around the outside of the parking lot. But to be honest, like if I didn't get him and my daughter ran that way and went back to the truck, he could have been right there to meet
I know.
her.
I thought about that later on, and that could have been bad.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, he could have been right there to meet her at the end of the parking lot, because that was where he was headed,
Yeah.
right towards where my truck was parked out.
And the number one thing is, if he didn't go running out there, I would have anyone even known that was the guy running through the parking lot. You know, we don't know. We don't know how this would have turned out. So.
I sure did highlight him, that's for sure.
Yes, you did. Yeah, when you're trying to hit him with a shopping cart, looking like Hulk over there.
I didn't expect, like I said, I didn't know what it was doing. It was so quick that
It was the fastest.
I just wanted something to keep the distance between me and him that I could use as a weapon. That was a perfect example. You guys all know what it feels like to get hit in the ankles with a grocery cart. It's not.
Yeah, your kids do it, you know.
Yeah.
But he did it like he was trying to kill him with a shopping cart. And he did fall down. He was having a hard time getting back up, so I'm sure his ankles are still hurting. So.
Go.
Is there anything that you want your kids to take away from what you did?
My children, just know that I'll always be there to help you out and always try to protect you. And that always keep your head on a swivel, even if I'm not there. If for any kid, don't trust nobody in your surroundings unless you're not even in a classroom. I mean, just keep your eyes out. Just look. You know, nowadays these kids' their eyes are buried in their phone all day long. And I'm not saying just kids, adults as well. You gotta keep your head on a swivel. And most people will watch this and say, okay, yep, they'll get it for now, and then they'll just go back to normal later, until something bad happens around them, and then they'll really get changed. But I think everybody in that store and up there is gonna have a different perspective on what they're doing when they're out and about.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that store hasn't seen any bit of violence either before.
I'm never letting my daughter wander off in the store again, for sure, ever.
No, yeah, that's definitely a thing. That's definitely a new thing.
The legal process, you know, kind of given that you guys like filming and then intervening, you know, do you expect to be, you know, in contact with like investigators or
I am.
prosecutors? Yeah,
Yep.
like, you know, they might call you to testify.
And if so, yes, I will have to. I mean, but as of right now, I'm just in contact with the sheriff's department through a detective there, and through my dad, who's also a former detective for Kent County and retired, and keeps in contact with his business there. And so he's been handling a lot of the procedures. I have to do like a mouth swab because my DNA is on the knife. So, and I think Michigan State Police has to handle that one because they took over the scene. But
Were you the only one to touch the knife?
yeah, yep. After he put it down on the ground, I grabbed it and I didn't let it go. I didn't want nobody to come up and take it and think it was, you know, like, look, I got this from the stabbing or sell it or try to get away with it. When I knew it, everybody else's DNA was on that knife. That can all lead back to him, all of it. I know my DNA is on there, so I know I'm involved. All those people he stabs DNA is on there, so I know they're involved. I'm sure his DNA is on there. He was the one holding it, so this all tie into him for sure, 100%. Anybody that got sliced, stabbed, or cut is going to have their DNA on that knife to go right with him where he's at.
How many people did you see get stabbed? 2?
The only thing I saw was 2, and mainly 1. But like I said, I swear he slashed or dashed at a guy in the way. I don't know if he got him or he didn't get him. But when I did kind of take a look back, I could see other people laid out, but I didn't see them get stabbed. But the most gruesome one I saw was the elderly lady that took the knife all the way full blade into her back.
That was in the parking lot, and there was a pool of blood under her.
And then they sat her in the chair, and then the back of when they were going to put that gauze on her, just sticks with me is the amount of blood that was around her backside where she was sitting in the chair, just pooling up around her. It was bad. There was a lot of blood. Like I said, he had to go back in the store and he was stepping over blood.
And then there
Trails.
was, so yeah, I seen a couple more people. That's when I knew. I seen a guy leaning up against like the pop display, and it looked like he was holding his shoulder or something. And then there was another guy. I don't know if it was the pop can section or something like that where you return cans, but he was curled up. And how I knew he was there was a blood trail all the way to him. And yeah, and I actually don't know what else I seen anymore. I seen a lot. And I feel like everything just got, blurred out or something. I don't know what happened anymore. I don't even remember why I went back in the store sometimes.
Well, we kind of thought our daughters were still in there hiding.
Yeah, I know I went in there for that reason. But then I feel like I just got lost when I walked in.
Oh yeah, I've been just seeing it. You're just like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
They say during those like high trauma situations, those heavy stress situations, your brain tries to protect you, right? And you kind of have trouble remembering what was happening during all that adrenaline. I'm assuming that's what you guys are describing.
Oh, for sure. Especially from the moment of me grabbing the cart, it's like flashes, and then to the end until now. I mean,
Yeah,
I find myself dazing off during the day now, thinking about it, and then forgetting everything around me. So hopefully that goes away soon.
Right when it happened, where exactly were you, and then what was the first thing, what tipped you off the first screen, or what was it?
The man that yelled.
Yeah, there was a man that yelled that the guy's got a knife, and it was a crazy scream how he said it too, because he was serious. Like,
the man's got a knife.
So then at that moment, I know for me, I was like, shit, what's going on? Where is it? Where's this guy?
That's when you knew it was coming, because it was like a wave of screams just
Yeah.
coming from the back of the store, just like it was one.
It felt like
a group of people on a wave screaming, like going on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah, it felt like
just like that.
Yeah, that guy, when he said the knife, it was like he said it, and that was the first initial sound we heard, and then it was screaming. We had no idea what was happening. So,
I just
Most
directed
people
my
have-
attention that way.
Most people have been stabbed at that point.
Yep. A lot
so
of it happened in the back of the store.
if 11 people were stabbed, we would have only witnessed 3 of them. So he got all those other ones before us, before we had any idea of what was going on. So,
It's possible you could have gotten more.
Oh yeah.
It's speculative.
There was people still coming into the store from the parking lot, which he could have been running by them and just doing what he did to anybody else.
yeah.
But he wasn't attacking people that were looking at him.
Do you know how long it took deputies to get to the Walmart from the time you heard the first
Within 3
scream?
minutes. Within 3 minutes.
So, I guess the best way to put it is when I made the video, I thought they were going to kill him. So I thought, but then I think why? Because I'm questioning now why I didn't continue videoing. I don't even know why, but I'm assuming. I think I heard all the police cars coming, and they came in like a force. Like you heard all of them coming, and I was like, all right, now I knew the police were there. Guy had a gun. Guy's under control. Okay, where are these girls? I think that's how everything went. Yes, everything's still a kind of a blur, but I'm assuming that's how I thought.
I think his best story he told me is that he was standing there when the cops came in, and you could hear them coming, and they weren't playing around. They came full force, and he said that one of the cruiser's brakes were just smoking, smoke barreling off. So we know they weren't playing around either. They were there. They meant to get there on time. I mean, especially it's their city,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where else are you going to protect the place that you live? So for anything to go down, it could have been any of their kids, any of their family, and maybe some of them were. I don't know, but they came in hot in full force, and not just deputies. The Michigan State Police, the Traverse City Police, Sheriff's Department, EMS, firefighters, everything. It was covered quick. Everything was under control real quick.
What years were you active?
04 to 08.
Where did you serve?
Camp Pendleton and Iraq.
Anybody else? guys wanna add about this whole crazy situation?
I said before, I hope the victims of this and their families all get better and seek help if they need it.
Yes.
And I hope
They all recover
For sure.
100%.
and they get justice out of what he did. I hope it comes to that point where every one of them gets justice for what he caused, even the people that witnessed it. Anybody in Traverse City that was there, and friends and family all get the justice they deserve from it.
Also, that other guy with the shopping cart, he needs some credit. I haven't seen him surface anywhere. I have no idea. We didn't know who he was.
I'm sure he told my name when I shook his hand, but at that time I couldn't remember.
I know there's a video where I was like, after all of it, and I was just video recording fire trucks and all that stuff showing up. I think I talked to him for like 3 seconds, and you could hear me in the video with him, but that's it.
I'm surprised there wasn't more people recording, but yet we still haven't seen Walmart's cameras either, so they're probably still,
Yeah.
if they ever drop.
Are you interested in seeing that? They said that most of the surveillance videos or most of the incidents were captured on.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I would love to see that because it's still, I'd like to see what happened because I'm like, I remember what happened. At least I think I remember what happened.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it to see what. I mean, I don't really care to look all the way to the back of the store and see how he's doing, but what happened between me and him in the parking lot, and where Derek was at, and I hope that will bring a lot of light to what happened, and so we can stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
They definitely are heroes. There's no doubt.
I think that's something too, right? You only filmed it because you wanted video evidence of what happened in case something bad did happen, right?
Yeah.
You didn't do it to.
I thought the man's life was going to end.
He didn't run
so-
out recording, He ran out behind me to help, and then when
Yeah.
Derek showed up with the pistol, that's when he pulled his phone up.
Yeah, the Derek and I'm pretty sure I heard the cop cars coming at the same time. So I'm like, all right, well, if this man's going to end him, I think it should be on video, so there's no questions.
Yep.
And I think you already mentioned this, but like you thought that's what was going to happen.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have a feeling that if Derek would have been in the store while this was happening, he may have pulled the trigger, because it's different to come out to a guy knowing what he did versus seeing what he did. I'm not, if I had the gun, he wouldn't be being arraigned. I would have shot him. I would not, no questions
The
asked.
moment he would have stabbed that lady in front of me, I would have already pulled
I would
the
have,
trigger.
yeah, he would have made it much further past the car. So it's just one of those things, man. You see that, all right, it's time to go.
And like I said before, like he was at the distance between us that if he was at the distance between any other officer out there, he would have already been shot with a knife in his hand like that, wielding it, either tased or shot right away.
So Derek wasn't in the store with you guys and followed him out. He was outside of the store.
Actually, he
saw what was going on.
He told me that he was just at the range practicing, and he was on his way into Walmart and forgot he left his pistol on his hip and was headed back to his car to go put it away. And that's when he noticed everything out front and come over to, save the day for all of us.
But at that time, did he know that there was a whole stabbing situation going on?
I don't think so. I think he maybe seen the lady on the ground covered in blood, and me over there beating him with a grocery cart, and the other guy beating him with a grocery cart, and then knew it was time to come in and do what he had to do, because he saw the knife in the guy's hand. And at that moment, yeah, he did the most appropriate thing. If you got a knife out there, you never bring a knife to a gunfight, and he won that battle. Even though he didn't have to pull the trigger, he used that. And like I said before, I think that guy he owes Derek a thanks, because if he would have came at us anymore, or anybody else would have been there, he probably wouldn't have survived. He probably would have been shot. Maybe survived, but I don't know where Derek was aiming. I know we're out of an aiming, but at that distance. But
I also think I heard some people tried fighting him inside the store, but I don't know how that went. I would love to see how this all went down, because I have no idea. It's still the 10 seconds inside the store. That's all I know about. How all that happened, and a matter of that is beyond me.
Before we leave, if I could have everybody just sign their name and the agencies that they're with, if we could do that. I want to thank Matt and Chris for being able to do this today. One thing I would like to add, and that I see from my 30 years of law enforcement, I see it that is on the news, and people are taking away or saying that, you know, this person just filmed, or this person was just screaming, or this person had a gun. I think we have to look at the totality of it and put all of those things together. And what we're looking at here is that we had a chaotic situation with an individual that's going around stabbing everybody. But what these individuals did is they took away from him being so chaotic to a chaotic situation for themselves. So what they essentially did is that, if you watch the videos, Matthew's doing loud verbal screaming commands, and what he's doing is that the suspect is now focused on Matthew. This guy has a weapon pointed at him. That guy is now focused on that weapon. And Chris is filming it because Chris is thinking, for the mere fact if this guy shoots, we have now video evidence of this that happened. So all that chaoticness now is around these three individuals. And that's perfect training in any scenario. You are training and getting that cast, loud verbal commands, getting it filmed, getting it on camera. You see search warrants now that when the police are doing, they have one person that's filming it. Why? Because we need video evidence. 2, Matthew screaming and giving loud verbal commands. Why? Because he's creating that chaotic situation, having that man now focus on these three individuals and not being able to go back out and stab people. But you're watching these posts and saying and taking away from this one, taking away from, they are all three heroes. They all three did a phenomenal job, and they should be looked at upon that as heroes. They all had an intricate part in this to stop that could have been much worse if these guys weren't there. So I just wanted to add that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate your ages.
I'm 43.
12 and 13.
I'm 39.
Thanks for watching. Here's another story you may like, and subscribe to the WSBT 22 YouTube channel.